The 2021 Formula One season was more than just a championship. It was electrifying, controversial, and utterly unforgettable. It served as the crucible for one of modern motorsport's most intense driver duels. While Max Verstappen ultimately lifted the championship trophy, the deeper truth, the one the final standings alone don't reveal, is that Lewis Hamilton was the superior driver over the entire year, not just in raw talent, but in maturity, unwavering adaptability, and flawless execution under unimaginable pressure. At 36 years old, Hamilton shattered the conventional wisdom of F1 driver peaks, typically a narrow window between 28 and 32. Hamilton, at 36, delivered a season of unbelievable talent to be able to compete at the top at that age. He didn't merely keep pace with a hungry, pre-prime aged Verstappen, he consistently outclassed him. Indeed, considering that many veteran F1 drivers experience slower reaction times and reduced stamina beyond 35, Hamilton's performances become even more extraordinary. This defiance of age isn't just anecdotal. It challenges the very paradigm of athlete longevity in a sport where milliseconds differentiate champions from the rest. Hamilton's sustained physical and mental sharpness at an age where most would see a decline is a testament to his unparalleled dedication to fitness, recovery, and psychological preparation, setting a new benchmark for veteran performance. Let's be crystal clear. Age in Formula One is not just a number. Reflexes are measured in milliseconds, and stamina is tested over grueling hours. Scientific research and race data, including meticulous analyses by motorsport physiologists, strongly suggest that drivers' cognitive and physical peak begins to tail off around their early 30s. By 36, most would have realistically lost a crucial tenth or two per lap, enough to crush title hopes in a sport of razor-thin margins. Yet, Hamilton delivered what was arguably the finest season of his legendary career in 2021. His composure was particularly evident in moments of extreme pressure, such as recovering from a significant deficit to win at Silverstone, his fight back at Brazil, or navigating the chaotic final laps in Saudi Arabia. This ability to maintain peak mental clarity amidst the highest stakes truly differentiated his measured approach from his rivals' more volatile intensity. His subsequent struggles in the 4 years since only underscore the sheer magnitude of his 2021 achievements. Even seasoned analysts acknowledge that maintaining such peak performance at Hamilton's age is a feat rarely witnessed in motorsport history. Verstappen wasn't just the younger driver, he also commanded a notably faster car. The Red Bull RB16B stood as the most complete and balanced package on the grid across much of the season. Boasting superior downforce, a potent Honda power unit, and Adrian Newey's hallmark aerodynamic brilliance, Verstappen frequently enjoyed inherent track position advantages and outright qualifying dominance. The RB16B's consistent high-speed cornering ability, particularly in the crucial first half of the season, allowed Verstappen to extract more pace on circuits that heavily favoured downforce, granting him an inherent advantage in outright lap time on many occasions. This undeniable car advantage meant Hamilton often had to compensate with superior racecraft, exquisite tyre management, and flawless strategic execution just to bridge the performance gap. Even Adrian Newey himself has candidly acknowledged that the Red Bull held an edge over the Mercedes W12.
Did it suit us more than Mercedes? It seems so, certainly earlier in the year. Obviously the last few races they've come back very strong. But I think on balance we've probably had the quicker car.
The flexible rear wing controversy, which saw Red Bull accused of exploiting loopholes for aerodynamic gain with their rear wing design, alongside straight-line speed advantages at certain circuits, provided Verstappen with tools that Hamilton simply didn't possess. Analysis from independent sources, including detailed telemetry data, consistently illustrated Red Bull's tangible advantage on numerous race weekends. And yet, despite often commanding the superior machinery, Verstappen only secured the title on the final lap of the final race, a race whose ending remains, to this day, one of the most hotly debated and controversial in Formula One history. The 2021 season was not just races. It was punctuated by several dramatic incidents that vividly highlighted the driver's contrasting approaches and philosophies. In Imola, Hamilton showcased his immense resilience, recovering from a rare, significant mistake to secure a hard-fought second place after Verstappen's commanding win. At Silverstone, a contentious first-lap collision saw Verstappen crash out dramatically, while Hamilton, despite overcoming a controversial penalty, stormed to victory, igniting fierce debate about racing ethics and aggression. The Silverstone incident, in particular, set a precedent for the season's escalating intensity, with Hamilton demonstrating his capacity to absorb immense pressure and retaliate with a dominant performance, even after a grid penalty. Monza brought another, arguably more symbolic, collision, this time leaving both drivers out of the race after Verstappen's Red Bull literally landed atop Hamilton's Mercedes, a stark and vivid symbol of their intense, often hazardous rivalry. While some critics argued Hamilton was equally at fault, thorough steward investigations definitively concluded that Verstappen held greater responsibility for the incident. The airborne Red Bull over Hamilton's head encapsulated the raw, often dangerous nature of their wheel-to-wheel battles, a stark contrast to Hamilton's typically cleaner, more calculated racing style. Saudi Arabia was marked by sheer chaos and controversy, featuring aggressive defensive moves by Verstappen and tactical brilliance from Hamilton, who ultimately triumphed amid penalties and widespread confusion. Verstappen's aggressive maneuvers in Jeddah drew considerable criticism from fellow drivers and expert analysts alike, underscoring persistent concerns about consistency and fairness in his driving standards. The infamous brake test by Verstappen, where he slowed inexplicably, leading to rear-end contact, epitomized his willingness to push, and often exceed, the boundaries of sporting conduct, forcing Hamilton into reactive and often dangerous decisions. Brazil, however, stands apart as perhaps Hamilton's single greatest performance of the year. Starting from the very back in the sprint, overcoming disqualification from qualifying and a subsequent grid penalty for the main race, Hamilton carved through the field with breathtaking speed and precision, culminating in passing Verstappen in a truly epic battle. While critics might claim Hamilton's fresh power unit gave him an unfair advantage, detailed telemetry showed his unparalleled overtaking prowess and consistent speed were the decisive factors, not merely raw horsepower. Additionally, Hamilton's pace advantage in Brazil was well within normal performance fluctuations seen throughout the season, further validating his truly remarkable performance. His sheer speed through the corners and ability to consistently hit apexes allowed him to maximize the engine's potential, turning a power advantage into an unassailable race victory through masterful driving. Their stark contrast in driving styles speaks volumes about their respective approaches to racing. Verstappen is a maximalist, no pun intended. Late on the brakes, ferociously aggressive on the throttle, and utterly unrelenting in battle. He consistently lives on the very edge of grip, legality, and sporting etiquette. This high-octane approach often rattles rivals and passionately captivates fans. But it undeniably comes with consequences. Frequent chaotic clashes, inconsistent tyre management, and regular visits to the steward's room for investigation. Verstappen's aggressive inputs often led to higher tyre degradation over a stint, which in a longer race could sometimes compromise his pace. This high-risk, high-reward approach was thrilling, but undeniably prone to moments of instability. Hamilton, on the other hand, is a true craftsman. His driving is smooth, exquisitely deliberate, and surgically calculated. He manages tyres like an artist, preserving their performance with uncanny precision until the absolutely decisive moment. A prime example is the Spanish Grand Prix, where he patiently bided his time behind Verstappen, executed a clever two-stop strategy, and ultimately overtook him with surgical precision. No drama, just pure, unadulterated domination. This tyre-whispering ability, honed over years, allowed him to extend stints or push harder when needed, providing crucial strategic flexibility that often outmaneuvered rivals. The 2021 Formula One season while culminating in Max Verstappen's hard-fought championship victory, stands as an irrefutable testament to Lewis Hamilton's unparalleled mastery and enduring greatness. Against a younger, fiercely ambitious rival, and often wrestling with a car that was arguably not the outright fastest on all tracks, Hamilton delivered a season of extraordinary resilience, strategic brilliance, and consistent, peerless excellence. He didn't just compete for a title, he redefined what was truly possible at his age, navigating unprecedented pressure both on and off the track with a composure that few in motorsport history have ever matched. While the official record books reflect one champion, the true, nuanced narrative of 2021 unequivocally reveals a driver who transcended the immediate outcome, solidifying his legacy not merely as a victor, but as the superior force in one of the sport's most captivating and contentious years. His 2021 campaign was not merely a battle for a trophy, it was a defiant, breathtaking exhibition of a seasoned legend operating at his absolute zenith, forever etching his performance into the hallowed annals of Formula One as a prime, unforgettable example of ultimate driving prowess.